Hi and welcome everyone. We are a fast growing group. Thank you so much for joining, everyone who came in last week. Wednesdays, you'll see me here live doing some Facebook Lives about topics that you would like to know more about. So make sure to let me know what you want me to talk about. And I am very grateful that we're growing so fast. It means you guys like what you see. Invite your friends, share the videos with them if you feel that they can benefit from it as well. All right, so today we will talk about how to exercise when we're way too tired. And this might resonate with you, maybe not. I certainly have in the past always procrastinated when I was tired and couldn't really keep up with my workouts. So it's something that some of us struggle with for sure. But also I've seen the other way around. People who start exercising like crazy and running, especially running or jogging like all the time, chasing this new best mark, chasing the new number on their Fitbit, and it's way too much. They're overdoing it by a lot and they wonder why their fatigue is not improving. So let's look at this a little bit more closely today and figure out what we can do and what we actually should do to help our energy come back naturally without depleting it. So if you are struggling with anything that is post-viral, right? You had an Epstein-Barr infection, you had COVID, you have chronic fatigue syndrome. Okay, that's not what we're talking about today. So if that is you right now, be very careful with strenuous exercise. Less is more often, and actually it's necessary that you don't stress your body. Wait until all your infections are cleared. You don't want to stress your system on top of dealing with any virus, okay? So if you're sick, you feel under the weather, please do not exercise. It's usually it's counterproductive. So it's not helping you at all with your fatigue. It's putting more stress on your body. So, but let's assume that's not the case and we're just in a rut and we're constantly tired and we don't really want to exercise, but we know we should. So we get kind of stuck and we're procrastinating and putting things off. So let's look at that. So how you can clear and deal with toxins could play a role why you are not very prone to exercise or you don't really like to do it. You're too tired because it's putting too much stress on your body. And then there's also a genetic component. If you have an autoimmune condition, you are much more prone to a faster inflammatory cascade, meaning it's a faster stress response that you're putting your body under. So if you feel like you have to exercise a lot to see any effects, but it's stressing you and you're tired, you might want to dial back on that. It might not be very good for you, okay? So make sure you really know what's going on with you underneath the surface in order to determine how you should be exercising. But so let's assume you have none of those conditions, but you just feel too tired. We do know that exercising will give our energy a boost, a healthy boost, if done correctly. So there's no way around it. Just staying on the couch because we're too tired is not the way to go. So, but what I recommend is usually short but frequent exercises to get started. And I'm talking about 3 minutes here, okay? So nothing too time consuming, nothing that we need to procrastinate or schedule in. It can really just be 3 minutes. And it's often even better than 15 or 20 minutes when you start out, okay? Just 3 minutes, short exercise, but frequent, often during the day. Even if you can just do a minute, right? So you get started. Because you have to figure out what your window is, your aerobic window and your fitness level. So really start slow and don't push. So when you feel like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do 3 minutes, no problem. All right, then you can go higher. You can do 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So play with it. See where your window is, what your body currently tolerates, and it'll tell you. It's going to be crystal clear for you what you can manage and what not. And there's no right or wrong here in terms of time. It's just for you learning to know your boundaries and pushing your boundaries once you know them. But it's important that you do something, right? And it doesn't really matter what either. Just do something where you can really get your heart rate up for a very short period of time. And then you wait until your heart rate normalizes before starting the next episode, okay? So, for example, you can even get 15 to 20 minutes of exercise in total if you do 3 minutes per time and you do it 5 times per day. Okay, so that's doable. You don't even need to schedule this in. That's doable throughout your day, and you can use your breaks from work or whatever you're doing. Just kind of get a little bit more active, and that improves your endurance and your stamina over time, and it'll help you dramatically with fatigue. Okay, so even if you're too tired, I challenge you to find your personal window. Okay, 3 minutes, and that's totally fine. And if you want, you can monitor yourself with biometric devices to identify your own patterns if you're not sure, if you don't really know how to do it, and measure your improvements, or use your intuition, whatever works best for you. Strength training is super valuable here. Yoga, for example, is my favorite. There are great yoga videos out there for people who are tired and feel like they can't exercise. Yoga is a great way to start. Work with your own body weight at first when you start out. Don't go any heavier than that. Really work your way up to it. The goal here really is that we don't want to overstress your system because it's already stressed enough. So we don't want to add too much physical stress, but we need to add some physical stress. So we have to do it in the right way. Because if you have too much oxidative stress in your body, your mitochondria, right? Those are the energy producing cells in your body. They go into defense mode and then they stop producing energy for you to spend if you overdo it and you're not working with your body but against your body. So you really have to make sure that your oxidative stress level is reducing to see improvements in your exercise performance. So less is more. Very often the case when someone is fatigued. Of course, you can also take some supplements to help you with that. For example, N-acetylcysteine, curcumin, glutathione supplements. They all can help to reduce this oxidative stress you're having in your body. Omega-3, for example, also very anti-inflammatory. It's really important that we interrupt the inflammation patterns here. And nutrition is super important if we want to really work on our stamina and our exercise. And also an individual approach is important. So if you heard things and what works for your neighbor, what works for your family member, and you're just struggling to do any of those things, that's because you're different. You are a different person and you have different needs at different times of your life. And that is something we really do need to embrace. We're not the same as someone else, and things don't work for us that work for other people. So figuring out what your body needs and figuring out how to get started, that's really the biggest challenge. But once you've mastered that, it'll just get easier from there for your exercise and also for your general improvement in everything. Okay? So I encourage you to try these things out. Short periods a day, 3 minutes, get started, work your way up, and just don't overdo it. I don't want you to run marathons. I don't want you to feel pressured to go jogging, running in any weather at any time because you heard you should be doing it. Please don't. It's probably not helping you. And I hope this was helpful for you and you got a lot of value out of it. Let me know in the comments below how you liked it. If you have any questions or if you would like to suggest another topic for another day, please let me know as well. And I will see you again next week.